pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the roll. Mr. Barker.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
And Mrs. DeTore had a coworker that had a family emergency, so she had to step in for that coworker, so she will not be here today. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda and/or addendum items. Request a motion. Is there a
So moved. Second.
Mr. Barker
Yes.
and Mr. Long.
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is to approve or amend the meeting minutes from the March 14th regular board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Any questions, any discussion? Okay, now we'll call a vote. Mr. Long
Yes.
and Mr. Barker.
Yes.
Presentation of the financial statement for the month of March. We'll start with the general fund. Closing on March 31st, 2017, the beginning fund balance was $1,256,734.48. Personnel, $418,680.09. Vouchers, $173,150.58.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Or may I ask a question?
Yes.
The tax expense, what do we pay in taxes, in real estate taxes?
We still have a few properties that are not tax exempt. We pay some CAUV funding for where we have properties in agricultural leases. What else, Gloria?
I think that's it, basically row houses and anything that we would receive an income on.
Are we subject to special assessments and things of that nature? Because usually you can get exempt properties, but then lighting, street cleaning, whatever it might be, that's a special assessment with the park district. I didn't look into the tax
I'd
exempt.
have to look into that, I could really answer you yes or no on that. I'd have to look at the properties and see what's there and check with the auditor, but I can do that. As far as I know, we do not have any special assessments.
Okay, so that's just, I was just surprised to see, again.
Well, those expenses are actually auditor's fees. As you'll notice, we received the tax distribution for
Right.
real estate,
Right.
and so the auditor charges those fees just for prepping.
I see, so,
Yeah.
all right, so when I see real estate property, county tax expense, real estate property, should that be reclassified then? I know you show auditor's fees, but
Right.
it creates a little bit of a, I just assumed property taxes.
Oh, okay.
No, they are not. Well, I can,
County tax expense, real estate property.
okay.
But
I
then
can-
I see the auditor's fees, and that makes sense, that this
Right.
is just fees that they assess for processing.
That is correct. Those are fees that go back to the auditor, and they separate it by the real estate and then by manufactured homes. And then I believe we are also charged, not in this month, but when we receive the rollback, there will also be a fee on that. We used to show it as net, but the state auditors want to see it separated now. They want to see the auditor's fees separate than the expense.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Gloria. And back to stated vouchers, $173,150.58 for total expenditures of $591,830.67. Moving down to revenue of $3,189,938.59. You'll see our first half real estate property tax collection came in, so that boosted our revenue. For an ending fund balance in the general fund of $3,848,842.40. Okay, moving on to the road improvement fund. At beginning fund balance of $2,942,788.70. Expenditures of $95,257.96. Revenue of $2,399.45 for an ending fund balance in the Land Improvement Fund of $2,849,930.19. And the Retirement Reserve Account, beginning fund balance of $57,874.56, revenue of $35.09 for an ending fund balance of $57,909.65. In the Park Capital Reserve Account, beginning fund balance of $3,064,268.41, revenue of $1,788.81, for an ending fund balance in the Park Capital Reserve Account of $3,066,057.22. In the K-9 Fund, beginning fund balance of $3,512.45, expenditures of $450, and an ending fund balance of $3,062.45. No questions on the monthly financials. They will be entered into the record. Okay. Moving on to vouchers, bills paid for the month of March. Request a motion, bring vouchers to the table for discussion.
So moved. Second.
Combined general and land improvement fund totals for vouchers were $214,457. Any questions on bills paid, vouchers for the month of March? Go ahead and call the vote. Mr. Barker
Yes.
and Mr. Long. Thank you. Next up is new business. You have a memorandum from our finance department, our finance assistant, Dawn Sweeney. Myself, Dawn Sweeney, and Gloria Brino, we evaluated 3 different entities for our 2017 liability insurance. Those 3 firms were Travelers, the Ohio Plan, and Public Entities Pool of Ohio. Public Entities Pool did come in as the member states at a lower number. It was significantly lower for similar coverage. Jim Zucchero is here today. He's with Public Entities Pool. He's with Summit Insurance. The statute requires a presentation, and it would be my recommendation to, and then it will have to come back to you, the commissioners, for a vote, to go ahead and have a vote at our May regular board meeting. What we will do is we will go ahead and extend our current insurance coverage with Love Insurance to get us through the next board meeting. But everyone's scheduled and a few folks going on vacation, it'd probably just be best to handle that at our May board meeting. So it does require a presentation today, and then you vote on it at a next scheduled meeting. So I've asked Jim to come. You see our recommendation, it will be to go with the Public Entities Pool. We moved with them before. No issues with Public Entities Pool, so we're recommending to go back to them. And Jim do a really quick, down and dirty presentation of some of the coverages, and we'll see if you have any questions. So once again, we're not voting today, but just a recommendation of the insurance.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I'm Jim Zucchero with Summit Insurance. You too. And I am very familiar with PEP. I was employed by Department of Flower when we put Charter Park District with PEP. Gosh, in the early 90s, I believe, Mr. O'Meara was the park director. And so PEP is a nonprofit tax-exempt organization owned by its 500-plus members. And in addition to being endorsed by the OPRA, the Association of Ohio Health Commissioners endorses PEP for its members. And just this year, the Ohio Municipal League switched from endorsing their own program to endorsing PEP. The sister program you may have heard of if you live in the township is there's over 1,000 of the state's 1,300 townships in that program. It's worked extremely well. The stated goal of PEP since the beginning was not to be the lowest cost or the best coverage, but to be an open and stable market for its members. And they've accomplished that by becoming independent somewhat from the insurance industry. The insurance industry is cyclical, and by socking away tens of millions of dollars, they can buy coverage for